the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. Ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita Binapurarachi.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
The President instructs to remove his image from billboards, cutouts and posters. A somewhat decline in the rainy weather from today. Schools in Mathura and Galle are to be closed tomorrow and the day after. Envoy says Sri Lankans in Israel are safe. A WhatsApp number to convey information on Sri Lankans. Reports on the death of at least 2,000 persons in an earthquake in western Afghanistan.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top local story. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the government has unveiled an ambitious 10-year initiative aimed at boosting agriculture and tourism in the eastern province with a particular focus on the development of Trincomalee. President made these announcements at the 149th anniversary celebrations of Chenkaladi Madhya Mahavidyalaya in Batticaloa.
The college's infrastructure was initiated in conjunction with its anniversary, and President Ranil Wickremesinghe personally conferred certificates to students who successfully completed their advanced level studies at Chenkaladi Madhya Mahavidyalaya, Batticaloa. He highlighted plans to harness the untapped potential of the Mahavalley A and B zones in the Batticaloa district previously overlooked by Mahavalley projects. Additionally, a comprehensive tourism strategy spanning from Nilaveli to Panama is set to be implemented.
I would like to call upon
President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that education has been the cornerstone of Batticaloa's development, yet the economic foundation requires strengthening. He added that their 10-year plan for the Batticaloa district is poised to bolster its economic vitality, while President J.R. Jayawardena initially intended to leverage the Mahavalley initiative for regional development, the shadow of war prevented its realization. The President further said today a new vision emerges as the country plans to transform Trincomalee into a thriving city in collaboration with India, tapping into mineral resources and creating a bustling trade hub. He also said that in Katunayaka, Biyagama, there exists a 400-acre investment zone, but Trincomalee has set its sights on establishing an expansive 1,000-acre investment zone. A systematic development plan for the Trincomalee port has been prepared by a Singaporean company, Surbana Jurong, and the government is determined to see it through. The President has also pointed out that this ambitious endeavour will transform Trincomalee into a major city and a robust economic hub. At the same time, they recognize the importance of agricultural development. Plans are underway to harness the untapped potential of the Mahavalley A and B regions in the Batticaloa district previously overlooked by Mahavalley projects. The President also said their aim is to create a modern agricultural industry in this area. The province has achieved self-sufficiency in rice production, and they are actively working to diversify our crop portfolio. President Ranil Wickremesinghe further said that over the next 10 years, their focus remains on the comprehensive development. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a directive urging against the use of his images on billboards, cutouts and posters. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a directive urging against the use of his images on billboards, cutouts and posters. He has also called upon fellow political leaders to avoid incorporating their photos in their campaign materials. The President emphasized the importance of addressing the people's needs over the politics of slogans, noting that such practices have adversely affected the country's economy. The President has reiterated his long-standing opposition to the use of slogans and cutout-based politics and encouraged everyone to embark on a new political journey together. People in several areas in the Mathura and Galle districts are being continuously tormented by heavy rainfall.
The Disaster Management Centre says inclement weather has adversely affected 71,320 persons belonging to 18,898 families. In some areas, flood condition is further increasing. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology says a decline in the rainy weather is expected from today. Many low-lying areas and roads in the Mathura district continue to remain underwater, causing irreparable difficulties in the lives of the people. Due to the overflowing of the Nilwala River, a flood situation has been created in 7 divisional secretariat divisions of Akurasa, Bada, Kamburupitiya, Athuraliya, Mathura and Valigama. It has also been reported that the Mathura administrative town is being subjected to flooding as a result of the water overflowing the stone pond in Athudava. The areas of Tudava, Hitatiya, Palatuva, Godagama, Vellavatta and Valpola have become underwater. In these areas have been shifted to 6 protected centers. Flooding is also being reported to be rapidly increasing in the low-lying areas of the Nilbala River, including Kaduwa, Bandaravatta, Velatota, Vitiyata and Karagoda, Uyangoda. The Army, Navy, the District Secretariat and Divisional Secretariat divisions are jointly engaged in the relief services. In the Mathura district, 29,877 persons in 8,016 families have been severely affected by the flood. The total number of families trapped in the flood waters is 40,053 persons belonging to 12,341 families. They have been relocated in 12 centres. A discussion on the disaster situation was conducted today under the leadership of Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena and State Minister Pramita Bandara Tennakona at the Mathura District Secretariat. At the meeting, attention has been focused on the provisions of drinking water and dry rations as well as on provisions on relief. It has been pointed out at the discussion that boats, unicorn vehicles and trucks have been deployed in relief operations. The Sri Lanka Army is taking the initiatives to extend relief to the flood victims in Akurasa, Athuraliya and Malimbada who have been trapped by the floods for 2 months. Water level in the Ging River is also increasing due to the incessant rains. Our correspondent says that many low-lying lands, houses and roads in Baddegama and Thodanguda have been inundated. By taking into consideration of the disaster situation, it has been decided to close all schools in the Galle district from tomorrow till the day after. The decision was taken at a discussion headed by Provincial Governor Dr. Willie Gamage. Schools in the Mathura district will also be kept closed from tomorrow till the day after. Heavy damages have occurred to a house in Thalagoda in Galle due to the fall of an earth mound last evening. There was nobody in the house at the time of the accident. A soil mound and a tree have fallen on the Beragala Koslanda section of the Colombo-Batiklo A4 road last night. Vehicle transport has been completely blocked. The red notice alert on earth slips issued by the National Building and Research Institute on several districts continues to remain valid. The Department of Meteorology forecast of a reduction in rainfall.
Fighting rages in Gaza Strip as Hezbollah has launched airstrikes striking Israel. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have killed at least 313 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip with almost 2,000 wounded. The Israeli death toll in the violence has increased to at least 600 and dozens of Israelis have been taken hostage. The escalation comes as fears of an invasion of Gaza are growing after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu threatened to turn the besieged Palestinian enclave into a deserted island following Hamas's surprise attack. Fighting between the Israeli military and Palestinian militants continues in Israeli territory near Gaza. Last morning, Hamas organization launched a wave of rocket attacks and fighters stormed into Israel in the biggest escalation in decades. The Israeli army has indicated the settlements adjacent to the Gaza fence are being evacuated and more evacuations would take place after further assessment. The Israeli military said earlier that all residents living in towns near the fence would be evacuated. Gun battles continue between Israeli forces and Palestinian fighters in Ashkelon and several areas of southern Israel. More than 400 Palestinian militants have been killed in southern Israel and the Gaza Strip, and dozens more have been captured according to foreign media. Meanwhile, Hezbollah has claimed responsibility for mortar strikes from Lebanon into occupied Sheba farms, with Israel claiming it has responded with artillery strikes. In Egypt's Alexandria, an Egyptian police officer has killed 2 Israeli tourists and their Egyptian guide. The most serious escalation between Israel and Palestinian Islamist group Hamas in 50 years has dominated global headlines. Hamas launched an unprecedented attack on Israel yesterday, firing thousands of rockets from Gaza Strip into Israel as dozens of fighters infiltrated the heavily fortified border in several locations.
Meanwhile, a special WhatsApp telephone number has been introduced for the purpose of providing information to Sri Lankans living in Israel. The Foreign Employment Bureau says it always remains alert regarding the activities of the expatriate workers. Media spokesman of the Foreign Employment Bureau, Government Senratyapa, said that the WhatsApp number has been presented to the information of emergency information. Accordingly, if any Sri Lankan is about to face any danger, it will be informed via the telephone. The coordinating activities are being carried out by the Authority on Population and Migration in Israel and the Sri Lankan Foreign Employment Bureau. The Bureau points out that therefore the relatives in Sri Lanka need not have any fears regarding the safety of their loved ones. Those who need further information may dial the hotline number 1989. He added that the embassy has informed that communication links in Gaza Strip is presently being obstructed.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the security of the pensioners has been consolidated even in the midst of a severe economic crisis faced by the country.
He has made these remarks participating in a program held in connection with the Pensioners' Day in Kelaniya. A special health clinic was conducted at the Vedamulla Pensioners Holiday Resort in Kelaniya to commemorate the National Pensioners' Day, which falls today. It was organized by the National Pensions Department. The Prime Minister has further stated on this occasion that the government spends annually a sum exceeding 418 billion rupees for the social well-being of more than 695,000 pensioners. He has also said that the services of pensioners are being anticipated in order to hand over the knowledge and experience to the future generation of the country. State Minister Sisira Jayakodi and Parliamentarian Yadamini Gunawardena have also attended the ceremony.
The Urban Development Authority has organized a program to clean multi-story apartment complexes around the city of Colombo and a series of medical clinics. A Shramadana campaign titled Enchanting House and a Clean Environment is being conducted in parallel to the 2023 World Habitat Day. One of the Shramadana campaigns was conducted at the Metsara Oyana apartment housing complex in Barala, comprising of 430 houses yesterday. Among the work completed included the rectifying shortcomings in the houses, painting, cleaning of the drainage system and restoration of the wastewater and sewerage system. Beautification of the environment was also another activity carried out in the program. Several medical clinics to provide solutions to the health problems of residents in apartment houses in Colombo also took place yesterday. Western and Ayurvedic medical clinics were conducted on behalf of residents of the Dematagoda, Mihinda Senpura, Siapat Sevena and Lakseta Sevena in Maligawata housing schemes. The NHDA has also organized the CNRO Children's Arts Competition in connection with the 2023 World Habitat Day at the Senarath Parnavidana National School in Udugampala, Gampaha yesterday. A set of painting equipment was presented to each of the 500 children who took part in the painting competition titled Let's Face Urbanization by Safeguarding Natural Environment. Acting Minister of Urban Development and Housing, Thenuka Vidana Gamage, NHDA Chairman Priyantha Ratnayaka and Director General Vijayananda Herath have also participated in the event.
Oncologist surgeon Dr. Hassan Ali Fernando says that the government hospitals have established 30 new breast clinics. She had made these observations during a recent episode of the 1-1 Katha program produced by the President's Media Division. Specialist oncology surgeon Dr. Hasrali Fernandez said that over 80% of the breast cancer cases are reported in individuals aged 50 and above. A family history of breast cancer and genetic mutations contribute to the risk, with a 15% likelihood of breast cancer due to the genetic factors. She has further stated that those who have previously battled breast cancer are also at a higher risk of recurrence, as are women who have never had children and those who had their first child after turning 30 years of age. Dr. Fernando also said that the factors such entering puberty before the age of 11 and reaching menopause after 55 years of age are also pose risks that are beyond their control.
A special commemoration ceremony has been organized to mark the 20th anniversary in the establishment of the Japan-Sri Lanka Business Association. This ceremony is scheduled to be conducted in Tokyo City, Japan tomorrow. The aim is to promote Sri Lankan merchandise in the international market during the next 20 years. The event is scheduled to be attended by Sri Lankan representatives as well as entrepreneurs who would engage in businesses between the two countries. The program has been organized according to a discussion that had taken place between the Japan-Sri Lanka Business Association and President Ranil Wickremesinghe during the President's recent visit to Japan. President of the Sri Lanka-Japan Businessmen Association, Jagat Ramanayake, said that it is hoped to have contacts of all 35 business councils with the embassy offices. In addition, a further 50 to 60 officers are going to take charge of organized world activities. The objective is to amalgamate all these groups under a common platform. He further said that the President, during his Japanese tour, has promised to extend all support of the government in this connection.
And now let's move on to a few more local news items in brief. A clash between lorry carrying rice and another lorry carrying sand in Manampitiye has resulted in drivers in both vehicles receiving serious injuries. The two drivers and another person trapped inside the vehicle have been rescued after 1-hour operation. They have been admitted to the Manampitiye hospital, and one of the victims was later transferred to the intensive care unit of the Polonnaruwa General Hospital. A ceremony has been organized in connection with International Children's Day at the SDS Jayasinghe Stadium in Dehiwala yesterday. It included medical clinics, concerts by school-going children and other cultural features. Chief of Staff of the President Sagala Ratnayake, Lion Nimal Pulat Sinhala of the 306C2 Club were in attendance. Chief of Staff of the President Sagala Ratnayake said that a new program has commenced with World Bank assistance at the advice of the IMF. He further said that the Aswasima program provides financial allocations more than the Samurdhi. A sum up to 15,000 rupees could be obtained. He further said through the midday meal program of the government, nutritious food is being provided through the foreign collaboration. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has venerated the Kande Vihara in Aludgaba this morning. He has called on chief incumbent of the Vihara, Venerable Kokavita Vipulasara Thera, and later on visited 4 Mahadevalayas and received blessings. A ceremony in this connection with the World Teachers' Day was held at the Mahinda Rajapaksa College in Homagama recently. Principal and the teachers of the school were facilitated this evening.
Physicians say there is a higher threat on the proliferation of the dengue disease in the existing rainy weather condition. Therefore, they request the general public to maintain continuously the cleanliness in the environment. The spread of dengue was at a lower extent during the recent dry weather condition which prevailed throughout the island. However, with the onset of the rain, there is a high probability of a substantial increase in the dengue mosquito population. Programs are underway on the regional levels to educate the masses and the public health inspectors over the dengue threat. The Ministry of Health says special dengue control programs are being implemented in the Western Province, where there is the highest threat of dengue spread. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
Kottumi, fun tamai. Hot and spicy, fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න. Beat එක remake කරන්න to win. හදවත වවලා යන්න. ගින්දර passion කරන්න. Fun උතුරන්න. Kottumi kick එක මෙන්න. TikTok viral යනවා. නැතිව trending වෙනවා. Hot පහසක් දවසෙනවා. Pantamai.
Welcome back with international news. And hundreds of people are feared dead after a powerful earthquake hit western Afghanistan near the Iranian border. The death toll is expected to rise as information comes in from rural areas, with one Taliban government department suggesting it could be more than 2,000. The 6.3 magnitude earthquake devastated at least 12 villages near the city of Herat yesterday. Rescue teams worked through the night trying to find survivors trapped beneath rubble. Thousands of people have been injured in a country with sorely inadequate medical facilities. Hospitals are struggling to treat the injured. The UN and other organizations have begun rush in emergency supplies. The worst affected communities are remote and consist of mud structures. The Taliban authorities expected to assess the scale of the impact. The World Health Organization said that at least 465 houses has been flattened, and Afghanistan is frequently hit by earthquakes, especially in the Hindu Kush mountain range, and is earlier lies near of the Eurasian and Indo-Asian tectonic plates.
A village in northwest China received this year's first wedge of swans as the birds completed their annual fall migration. Swan pairs, some with grey juveniles, quickly took to the pond in Sala village in the region's northwest. They dipped their heads underwater and appended their whole bodies to reach deep in search of food. Some villagers in surrounding areas brought corn to feed the elegant white creatures, and Chinese officials expect more swans to fly in during the coming months. China lists both mute swans and whooper swans as second-class protected animals under its two-tier wildlife protection system, with first class being the highest level. Both swan species begin their annual migration to this area of Xinjiang each September and depart from their wintering grounds around the following March.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Welcome back with your sports update, and it's about the Asian Games. The 19th Asian Games has been successfully concluded in Hangzhou, China today. The next Asian Games is scheduled to be conducted in Aichi in Nagoya cities in Japan in the year 2026.
The Games commenced on the 23rd of September with the participation of competitors from 45 countries. According to the medal table, the host nation China was leading with 201 gold medals, 111 silver medals and 71 bronze medals. Accordingly, China has won an overall 283 medals. The second place has been secured by Japan and third place by Korea. India was placed fourth. Sri Lanka has secured the 26th place in medals table. Sri Lankan competitors have won a gold medal, a silver medal and 2 bronze medals, and together 5 medals. At today's concluding ceremony, the Olympic flag and the flame was handed over to the host nation at the next Asian Games.
Normally when you look at the Asian Games, it's China, Japan's, and this is probably one occasion where, you know, the athletes...
荷花的绽放，演绎着亚运赛场上的桂花
closing ceremony
见
on
证
the
着
8th of October.
The South African team has been successful in securing a 102-run victory against Sri Lanka team in a World Cup ODI played in Delhi, India yesterday. A highlight of this encounter has been several batsmen creating new world records in the cricketing history.
The Sri Lankan team, after winning the toss, invited the South African team to bat first. Openers Quinton de Kock and Themba Bavuma have maintained only a 10-run partnership. However, Kock, along with Razivanand Dusan, have maintained a 204-run relationship for the second wicket.
And away for 4. 3. Back to back.
Crushed to Quinton de Kock. 80th of the 100. His first in World Cups.
Quinton de Kock has recorded his 18th century in ODI. Vander also recorded his 5th ODI century. Adam Makram has recorded the fastest century in ODI World Cup, facing only 49 deliveries.
Banged away for 6 to bring up a scintillating 100. Adam Makram with a special knock here in Delhi.
This was the 8th occasion of the South African team surpassing the 400-run limit.
Timing. Now the eyes on the Sri Lankan.
The Sri Lankan inning was opened by Pathum Nissanka and Kusaljani Pereira. Pathum was out for no score in the second over, but Kusal Mendes scored 76 runs, facing 42 deliveries. This was his 26th half-century in ODI matches. His inning was coloured with 4 boundaries and 8 sixes. Charith Asalanka also recorded his 10th half-century in ODI, scoring 79 runs in 65 deliveries, which included 8 boundaries and 4 sixes. Captain Dasun Shanaka also recorded his 4th half-century, scoring 68 runs, including 3 sixes and 6 boundaries. Kasun Rajitha hit 33 runs. The Sri Lankan team, at the end of the 44 overs and 5 deliveries, were all out for 326 runs. The total number of runs scored by both teams was 754, and this was the highest number of runs recorded in the World Cup one-day match. Sri Lanka will compete against Pakistan in a World Cup encounter in Hyderabad on the 10th of this month.
And the match between Australia and India in the ICC Men's Cricketing World Cup 2023 is currently underway at the Park Stadium in Chennai.
Australia won the toss and opted to bat first. The Australian innings was opened by David Warner and Michelle Marsh. Steve Smith scored 46 runs, while David Warner scored 41 for Australia. Despite the encouraging start, Australia were all out for 199, with the Indian spinners keeping the rest of the Australian lineup under the pump. Ravindra Jadeja picked up 3 wickets, while Kuldeep Yadav and Jasprit Bumrah picked up 2 wickets each. India, however, lost their first 3 wickets only for 2 runs in 2 overs. Virat Kohli and Rahul managed to rebuild the Indian innings as they continued to build a solid partnership, pushing Australia to make further inroads to find a wicket. Virat Kohli was on 77, while KL Rahul was on 62. Josh Hazlewood picked up 2 wickets for Australia. At the end of the 34th over, India was on 146 runs for the loss of 3 wickets.
Now is there an edge? They think there is an edge. The finger.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
And with that, we conclude tonight news. Register tomorrow at the very same time, together with Sharifa and Charita. Signing off. Good night.
Good night.